Hello and welcome to News Across Nigeria. I'm Olumide Macaulay. Coming up on the program today, the Presidential Committee in the Northeast Insurgency partners the Yobe State government to train teachers on dealing with disasters. The Anambra State governor inspects more infrastructure projects across the state. And the Nigerian army says it's open to embracing global trends in technology. And that, of course, will help the armed forces to defend the nation against external aggression and prosecute the war against insurgency. But speaking of which, let's begin with insurgency. As part of the plans of the federal government to improve the living conditions of the war-affected communities, the Presidential Committee on the Northeast has organized a capacity-building workshop for primary school teachers in Yobe State. The training aims to expose the teachers on the fragile security situation to equip them with better teaching methodologies to manage risks and conflicts. The workshop, which brought together 372 teachers spread across the state, was zoned in 3 major towns of Nguru, Potiskum, and Damaturu, the state capital. Whatever you are doing. After the first phase, more teachers will be drafted into the program, which is also aimed at identifying, analyzing, and responding to any security threat that may arise in their schools or communities.
In situations like this, the teachers also need current and proper teacher learning methodologies, in the sense that we have a situation now, and our teaching methodology should reflect the current realities so that the teachers will be able to adjust and adapt to the current situations, so that they could be better teachers, they could be better class managers, they could be better student-teacher relation officers.
One of the resource persons indicates that the workshop is timely, stressing it will integrate a renewed curriculum and ideas that will bring to bear the psychological support to teachers, pupils, and the society.
Disaster reduction, risk reduction will be introduced. Psychosocial support be introduced, and methodology in terms of intensive pedagogy, so that in that situation of emergency, there will be a situation where multi-grade teaching has to be employed.
Participants applaud PCNI, Subeb, and the State University for the program, saying it will help enhance their teaching methodology and conform to modern realities concerning the current security threat in the zone and the nation.
I enjoy this workshop because the way they teach us, and we benefit how to control the children during this PSS that is happening in our places.
Being that you have the knowledge, you are within the society, you are together with them, you sit with them, you play with them, you attend all necessary things together with them. They have confidence in you.
The workshop will further equip the participants with psychosocial support techniques that will enhance safety and positive change in the security-threatened states of the Northeast. In the same region, the Borno State government is distributing food items to families of nomadic cattle herdsmen in Maiduguri, the state capital. The beneficiaries are parents who allowed their children to be enrolled into schools through a special scholarship program. Now, the parents had earlier met with the school authorities, pleading that the holiday be skipped for children to continue to attend classes and enjoy their daily free meals. Each parent was given a 50-kilogram bag of rice apiece, a carton of spaghetti, and vegetable oil as well, to enable them prepare meals for their wards while at home throughout the holiday period.
Yawa ba tare da bata lokaci ba, Alhaji Muhammad Sani Idris El Bulaturi, Shetima Ilmu of Borno.
Mai girma Alhaji Kashim Shatima mai kaunan
Cin lokaci a wannan gabar za mu kira mai girma.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Da sauran jama'a da lokacin muke hira yace
The federal government has announced plans to increase its support for girl-child education as part of its drive to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. Speaking at a meeting in Abuja, the Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Education, Mr. Sonny Chono, lists key interventions for the girl child, which include scholarships and the provision of ICT tools for girls across the country. On his part, the UNESCO Regional Director assures of his support towards ensuring that Nigeria achieves its target of education for all.
A total of 222 girls have been offered scholarship to study in Nigeria's tertiary institutions under the Sustainable Development Goals Female Special Scholarship Awards. The award is the effort of the federal government towards achieving Goals 4 of the SDGs. Similarly, recently, 330 laptops were distributed to female students in federal unity colleges as part of efforts to boost girl-child education and as a demonstration of government's commitment towards the attainment of that SDG goal perspective in the country.
Permit me to reiterate UNESCO's commitment to work with the government, the people of Nigeria, and other development partners so that SDG 4 targets are realized both at national and local level. We are also available to provide technical assistance and support to the government and all stakeholders on the monitoring of SDG 4 progress and the use of the findings for planning and policy making.
Staying with education, and nationally, Nigerian universities are now being populated by young undergraduates compared to the past when new intakes were much older. This has been attributed in part to parents hurrying their children through the academic calendar, irrespective of a subsisting national policy on education, which stipulates a 6-3-3-4 system. The policy means a mandatory 6 years in primary school, 3 years of junior secondary, and another 3 years of senior secondary school, and 4 years in a tertiary institution. A public affairs commentator believes that there is a need to rework the education policy to suit the fast learning pace of the new generation.
The 6-3-3-4 system of education is a policy prescribed for all tiers of government in the country as the roadmap for the management of education. Therefore, both public and private schools are charged to implement all aspects of the policy. The system was conceived to entrench uniformity in the educational sector.
The 6 represents the primary school component of the education system, while the 3 represents, the first 3 represents the basic, the junior secondary school, and the other 3, the senior secondary school, and the 4 represents the period at a university or tertiary institution.
The flagrant breach of the national policy on education has become the precursor for having a huge number of underage undergraduates in Nigerian universities.
What I would think at this time is that educational planners need once again now to review the current structure that is on ground, bearing in mind the pace and speed at which children seem to be growing now compared to what it used to be or what informed the earlier policies.
For the Joint Admissions and Matriculations Board, JAMB, there is no age barrier to JAMB enrollment.
Anybody can take JAMB, so far you are above the 16 years age. But less than 14 or 13 years cannot take JAMB because the computer will reject them.
Professor Felicia Afuebush of the Department of Education Management, University of Benin.
Our parents are too eager to move their children. But one thing our parents forget is that those children may not be psychologically prepared, ready for the next stage. Because the growth of a child determines what level a child can be in the school and determines what the child can learn.
The temptation to accelerate the educational development of a child may be intense, but it could ultimately, if not resisted, lead to critical personality flaws which impede the transition to proper adulthood. Ustaz Obaza Channels Television News.
You're watching Newstrack on Channels Television. Coming up, the governor of Delta State affirms his position on the crisis in Ogorodo community. Stay with us.